I think we're doing a good job. We've got a really young crew in there. Our head cheesemaker, Maggie's doing a great job. I mean, starting at the age of 20, 21, making cheese, and now she's been doing it for 4 or 5 years now. We're trying to create a business that is, Julia kind of emphasized on how she didn't pay herself for the first 10 or 15 years, and that is not a luxury that is possible nowadays. We're trying to build a business that is sustainable, not only for our employees, but the farmers that we work with, because that's what's going to allow, I say, she's done it for the last 40 years. Hopefully I get to do it for the next 40 years. But that's all about sustainability and be able to use those resources to make the best products possible.
I mean, the first thing we made was the fresh white stuff that everybody thinks of as goat cheese. We hadn't been to France like, others had been, but we found we couldn't compete well in that market because there was so many cheap industrial imports from France, from the Netherlands, from whatever. And so the impetus then was, well, we need to develop American signature cheeses just like they have in Europe, only we need to do it in 20 years, not 400 years. That was the kind of advice we were getting from food people, retailers, people in New York and West Coast. Do something that reflects where you're from. Tourists were going to Europe, coming back and couldn't find these things. So we took the next step and started doing ripened cheeses in the same style as the cheeses from the Loire Valley in France. I think the first one was the Wabash Cannonball. Nobody had seen these little ash and then mold ripened cheeses here. When we did this in 1995, we won a Best of Show at American Cheese Society. And so one by one, we added to that family. Sophia, which was named after a woman who helped us along with those cheeses, a distributor from Chicago. Piper's Pyramid, which was named after Piper because it's got paprika on top, like her fiery red hair.
I'm the first grandchild and the only grandchild with a cheese named after them, which might be a sore spot among the cousins. I may be biased, but that is my favorite cheese. I love the smoked paprika, and I love the connection because we use the bourbon barrel smoked paprika, and I just think it's a great cheese.
I think it's the shape of the cheese and the fact that it ripens so uniformly. I confess, I think I'm always happy with the Pipers. For me, it always represents what I want to taste. And the other one I think would be Mount St. Francis, which was Sam's favorite when he was growing up.
Mount St. Francis, we would just leave one out in the windowsill and just eating it by the handfuls, just gobs of it.
The washed rinds are stinky cheeses. They're, you rub them with a brine and this orange, like Limburger. The orange rind grows on the outside and it's sticky feet. Wonderful, I love them. And great with beers and bourbon and and they were developed in monasteries in the Middle Ages by monks who had like 200 meatless days on the Catholic calendar and needed something big and meaty and powerful, to make up for the lack of meat on those days. So they were traditional monastery cheeses. One week it'll be the Wabash that's on it, just like sends you into, oh, I just love it. And then the next week, maybe not as much as something else. He has so much respect for him, and so does Piper. I mean, that they respect where we came from. It was always personal for me, always personal.